For the business card assignment in Lucidpress, there are a variety of business card templates. And while I am absolutely fine with you looking at these and getting some inspiration, I am not fine with you simply typing your name into one of these and turning that in, because it requires zero thought on your part in terms of design. So you can use them for inspiration, but you need to create from scratch the layout and place the items in the correct way. So my suggestion is that you not, in fact, do exactly the template that's shown. And that's what I've just done here. You can see why I'm saying this is not an acceptable alternative, because it's actually going so far as to try to put my information into the card and save me that time. That's not okay. So you're not just going to be able to go to the template and click on the Start New. I want you instead to reference those, to come up with any ideas, then to come back to your main document page for Lucidpress and to begin from the blank document. Your blank document is going to need to be correct business card size, and you'll need to adjust your margins and so forth. Lucidpress always assumes a letter size document unless you tell it otherwise, but you have the ability to adjust that as you need to. A standard business card is 3.5 inches wide by 2 inches tall, or those increments switched if you want a vertically oriented one. There are companies that do different size ones. I'm okay with yours being a different size, so long as you have some research, meaning a specific printer using a card at a certain size, and you'll need to provide me a link to that alternate. You don't have to do that for a standard size one, it's just for one that's unusual. And I will not buy, no matter what you show me, that a business card on a letter size piece of paper is, quote, normal. That's no. It needs to be a small business cardy, item. Okay, so if you wanted to change it, you do have a list of sizes that'll give you a jumping off point. You're not really going to find anything awesome from a business card perspective from your pull down list. So what you're going to do instead is come down and you're going to type in the size that you actually need. You're going to go to custom and you're going to make it 3.5 inches wide by 2 inches tall. If you want the standard orientation, you can switch that from portrait to landscape and vice versa. You can give it a background color now or later, and you've got your margins. Now, one thing that's completely insane is a 1/2 inch margin on something this small. So you're going to reduce this down. My suggestion is you either zero it out, because it is basically a distraction. It's only a guide. But if you don't want to zero it out, then give yourself like an 1/8 of an inch. 0.125 inches is that 1/8 of an inch, and you could do that on all 4 sides. And this is just a visual reminder to you not to get too close to your edge. And then, even though we can't output ours correctly, I want you to give me a bleed as well. And that 0.125 is a really good bleed value. Again, your bleed is the area outside of your document. It is beyond the outside edge. It would print oversized and be trimmed down. In InDesign, the outside border of the bleed is shown in red. In Lucidpress, both edges of the bleed are kind of sort of shown in red, but certainly the inside edges. So if you zoom in, the red represents the outside edge of our document and the beginning of the bleed. And there's a subtle little red line that I'm seeing that shows the outside edge of the bleed. So what the area I'm concerned with is everything inside the red. That's my proper design region. Okay, from here, we're going to go on and we're going to add additional elements that we need and that kind of thing. If you do want a background color, all you have to do is pick from one of the ones that's here. It'll show up principally in your main design area. You'll see a graded or a lightened version of it in the bleed area, and you would just pick and choose as you needed to. I'm going to stop and restart the video with the placement of graphics for this, but just know that this is the basic setup that we're going to work with for business cards.